What is going on? So, man, y'all ready to do this or what? Man, I hope this coffee tastes good. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. That one seems a little. I think it said coffee. What's up, man? Y'all ready to rock or what?
I am. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Let's see. We're gonna finish up Labum, which actually that's not gonna be very long. We only got. Let me see.
It's like about 10, maybe 12 verses.
Yeah, I mean it's not a lot, but I mean there's some things that can be said there. I just didn't want to go over it and end up getting sucked into like one of my long drawn explanations that are always amazing either way.
They are.
But I saw the time limit and I was like, bro, I better not even.
No. Yeah, because you know what? If you're gonna have to rush through something and not be able to have the time to really explain it, it's better off just,
Yeah, we're just gonna wait.
Yeah, wait for the next following day. It's not, or
yeah, we're just gonna wait.
Afternoon, so.
Yeah. So, let me see.
Where's Dre? Let me do some invites. Daniel.
Yeah, I don't know. Me no.
Yeah, invited. What's his name? Cry Wolf. He's over there. He's trying to communicate. He's doing a really good job, but they just give him a hard time. He's trying to communicate with the Muslims.
You mean with the Islamic believers?
Oh my God, that's like you just can't. I realize it has to be a very passive person. Someone who's really willing to sit down and discuss with you, because if not, it's just not possible.
Hey, and you know what? Hey, there's a time for that. You can go have coffee with someone and do a little apologetics and kind of talk to them about it. And, and I tell people all the time, when I say have a coffee hour, like apologetic coffee hour, I literally mean an hour. Like 1 hour, and let it be, man. Just give them the hour, and let them think about what you said. But like I'm telling you, the problem is everyone thinks that they have to have like this epiphany right in front, like, oh, I get it, bro. Pride is not going to let that happen.
No,
so how you defeat pride is you just tell them the truth and then walk away. Just leave it alone, because in a year, maybe tomorrow, they will the truth will hit them, and they may not let you know on purpose that you helped that out of pride. So,
and not only that, you don't want to become a stumbling block to that person either. I mean, if you're going to bring the truth, then you have to believe that the truth that you're bringing has the power to set them free, because you are bringing them Jesus. It's not like you're bringing yourself. So you have to know when to understand that the gospel is powerful in its own. It doesn't need all the inserts.
Where's
inserts?
Where's CJ's loud mouth at?
Oh, I don't. Did you invite him?
Well, he was invited. He was the one that brought up.
Yes, Luke, the gathering at the rivers.
The gathering at the rivers.
Oh, that's funny.
Man, I thought I wrote that down.
I did. I have it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find him real quick.
Yeah, you just got to give me a second though, because I just I just
Yeah,
dropped
no,
that
you're
in
good.
there.
I don't know
Hey,
where
Tron, I sent him an invite already.
oh, did you? All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, let me see. Uh, oh no, it was John. John 5. That's what it was that he brought up. John 5. Let's see. I didn't even read over it. Let's see which one this is. John 5. Let's see. 1 through 16. Yeah, I wrote it down right here. 1 through 16. All right. Wilt thou be made whole? Rise and take up your bed. Take up the bed and walk. Take up your bed and walk. 14. Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come upon thee. My Father worketh hereto, and I work. All right, let me see. And after this, there was a feast of Jews. Jews went up to Jerusalem. Now they're Jerusalem.
Bro, I
By
was
the
saying
sheep.
1 through 16 at the same time you were saying, thinking that you received the message, and I just noticed I was on mute. You got the cooties.
Ah, you got the cooties. All right. Let me see. Tanya, what's up? Hello. We're just talking about some Jesus over here. Waiting on, there's a couple of people I'm waiting to hop on. Yeah, so for here for the past like couple of weeks, I haven't been coming on at the exact time, that I usually do, but it's because, the old wifey, she started a new career, and man, we've been all over the place about everything. So there's the extra training that she has to get done, and it's been hard, but in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, I'll be back on track. It's just going to take me a few, probably about another 2 or 3 months.
How's she doing so far, Trot?
What do you think, bro? She's doing amazing.
Amazing.
She's doing amazing. They had a training session the other day, and where they have to shoot each other with simunition rounds. She was in there killing everybody. Now, I will say, I haven't took her through like any
Unaliving.
Huh?
Unaliving.
What? Oh yeah, right. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't took her through like any extensive training, bro. She's a rookie, so I know what. Trust me, I know what people think and what they say, and being a rookie. So I told her, hey, look, it's not hard. Like you're not an expert just because you know people who are. That doesn't make you an expert. I said, so I'm just going to show you just like literally some very basic things, and then just leave it at that. And she's like, well, what do I do? I said, I'm not going over any of that with you right now, man. I said, if you get in there and you just start killing everybody, see, when you do stuff like that and you're really good at one thing, they're going to expect you to have that standard on everything that you do, and it's not fair to the person. Mm-hmm. So, and she's like, but you taught me how to shoot for real. I said, yeah, so you can like for real save your life in real life. I said, but all the extra like intricate details on enter and clearing rooms, and I said, you're not on no SWAT team. You don't need to go in there showboating that you know how to do. I said, let me just show you, so that you at least don't look like a complete imbecile walking in there. So, and she already shoots better than everybody on the department. There might be one person that might, and I say might shoot better than her, but this person's been a cop for like 15 years, and the rookie's competition already for this person. But but she's doing great, man. She got fit. I don't know if you know anything about simunition rounds. So some of them are rubber pellets, some of them are like waxed. Like they're really weird. I mean, it looks just like a bullet, but you can see lines on the actual around the propel, and those lines open up once the impact happens. So what happens? The round comes out, it hits, and the bullet squishes, and like this wax comes out and paints you. It's kind of like a paintball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it hurts. I mean, they still come out like 500 feet per second, so they're not messing around. Well, anyway, she got hit literally, dude, on her fingernail.
Ouch.
she got such a big welt right there. It's hilarious. Let me see. No, man, Dre's still not in here. Dre, where you be? CJ, the one that brought up the one verse, he's not even in here. I'm gonna make them. They're gonna have to listen. We're about to go. They're gonna have to listen. I think. Hold on, wait a minute. Did I even on a fair chance send Dre? I don't even know if I sent him, or maybe I'm sure one of y'all already sent. Well, anyway, while I'm sitting here looking for, I don't know where Dre's original. Yeah, so her second day, dude, her second day on the job, there are these people that they stole a vehicle, and she's the one on the call, and they didn't steal, they robbed a vehicle, like at gunpoint, like told these people, you know, hey, give me your vehicle. And so she's the one on the call. And day 2, bro, she had to pull her gun out.
Oh, man, dude.
After she came across him, yeah.
How'd she handle that one?
Man, she did good. I got, well, let's just say I know some people down there, and they said she did fantastic. So
awesome, man. That's awesome.
So she did fine. Yeah.
It's good to hear.
So she...
Well, believe it or not, Trot, I mean, I don't know, but in my point of view, I think that's probably the best thing that could happen to her. Because now she got over the fear. Now she knows what it's all about. Move forward.
Yeah, heck yeah, I was glad,
get the jitters out of the way.
Yeah, trust me, get it out the way. Yeah, no, when she told me, she called me, she's like, hey, I had to pull my gun out. I was like, great. Now, first of all, you don't want to have to point your gun at nobody.
Exactly.
I think only a fool.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like you said, Trot, get the sissy out of the way.
Yeah, get it out the way, man. Let's get that out the way, and then from there we can do some work. Because if the sissy shows up and is like, okay, I don't want to play, then you're like, hey, this career ain't for you. I'm glad we got this out the way. Yep. Well, let's go do some underwater basket weaving. But that's done. She did great, and then the other day, today is what? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, so Monday. Yes. Monday is. So that kind of stuff's not hard for her, but what was hard for her was Monday. There was a call, a 911 call of a person that was. Oh my God, Jess, what is going on?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got you. But there was a call of a unresponsive person, and so she's there, and they're trying to resuscitate the person, and the person didn't make it. So she was kind of saw the person take their last breath. It was the first time she had to witness that. So she, like, literally in the first 2 weeks on her job, she's already dealt with, some things that sometimes it takes a couple of months or longer. But all good. Let me see. Yeah, Jesse over there making tamales and washing dishes. All right, so I already sent a message. Is the mute button
working? It's working, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It's working. Yeah. All right, well, imagine that. The guy that brings up John 5:1-16 is not even here. And I asked him, are you going to be here at 2? He said, oh, yeah.
Well, if you're taping the live, maybe he can go back and listen then.
Well, that's the joke, right? The joke is, it's kind of like, you tell the person, don't worry about it, you're not that important. You just go back and watch it on YouTube. That's what Dre and CJ were telling me earlier. I had walked off because my dog started barking. I was trying to see what he was barking out. Anyway, and I figured out what it was, and I handled it. But I was like, all right, what'd I miss? And both Dre and CJ were like, oh, well, I mean, you already missed it. We're not going to go over it again, so you can just watch it on YouTube, bro. I was like, oh, I see. There's no point of wasting time talking about it. Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Well, we're going to go through there anyway. They show up, and it is what it is. So just to go over the rest of, let's see, 2 Kings 5. Let me see. Which Dre don't mind anyway. He actually goes back over the videos and listens to them again, which is smart, really. And if y'all
as soon as your show's done, man, I always go back to YouTube and I just, I go through all those and I just listen to them through my day, because I walk the lot all day long, and I just have an earbud in my ear and I listen to it all day.
Oh yeah, well, Dre, if y'all don't know, Dre's just waiting to catch something wrong with anything. If you don't know, Bubba, that's our game. Like, he just can't wait to, like, hey, this right here don't make. But I mean, I like it, because I'm like, I don't know, 41,000 right now, something like that. I was keeping track, but after I got about 41,000, I kind of stopped keeping track. The best ones though is when he's 110%, like he is sure that what I'm saying is not true. When he's 110%, oh, those are the best. Those are my favorite.
No, it's entertaining watching you guys go at it.
Like, yeah, but dude, have you heard the debate? You should have by now, but have you heard the debate about, or not the debate, but like the misconception, or better yet, the bantering conversation about when I was in high school, I went to this huge, what was it? Chinese buffet in Austin.
Yeah, 25,000 square feet.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, I'm all over that.
Yeah. So it took me a while to figure out, right? And I say this so many times. I was in high school. This is over 20 years ago. So over 20, this is how I started the conversation. I said, hey, bro, I don't remember what started it. It doesn't matter. But I said, dude, there's this one buffet, and I made it very clear. I said, when I was in high school, made it very clear. So the context, I was in high school, bro. Clearly, I am not claiming that I took a measuring tape and measured this place, bro. It happened over 20 years ago. I know more about square footage now than I did back then, right? But he don't take any of that into context. Like, none of that at all is taken into consideration. It's like, oh, no, you said 25,000. He's like, bro, it's 12. It was 12. And I was like, bro, first off, and I challenge anyone, if you can go to a Chinese buffet, and I'm talking about just the place where the food's at, bro. Just where the food's at. I'm not talking about the entire building and seating and all that. Bro, it's 12,000 square feet. You're telling me that's not a huge buffet?
Yeah, 12,000 square feet just for where you're going up to pick up your food. Yeah, that's huge.
Bro, it's huge.
Yeah, not including where you're sitting down to eat. Because if you got 12,000 square feet of food, just imagine how much seating area that is.
Listen, dude, I'm telling you, when I was in high school, bro, you don't got to be the smartest person in high school to understand the difference between the Chinese buffets you're used to going to, and then you walk into this one and you're like, there is no way this place is real. That's how big it was in comparison. So when I said, bro, I don't know, he was like, well, how big? I said, dude, I don't know. I said, like, freaking 25,000 square feet. Like, I'm just trying to show, like, dude, it's huge. It's no joke. And then so he goes on the internet and he's like, hey, is this it? And I said, dude, that's it right there. And it was the one he found. He's like, so he starts reading. He's like, bro, it's only 12,000 square feet. And I said, so is it huge or not?
Yeah,
like, bro,
yeah,
you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point. This is not about whether it's 25. It's about whether or not that. How about this? The whole point of this is, was it big enough to where here I am 20 something years later talking about it? Is it big enough for that? Yeah, exactly. That's how big it was, But I'm telling you, I remember, bro, like I walk in there and I noticed that the building was big, but I'm not paying attention. And then so we get our little plate and we start walking, and I'm still not realizing how big where all this food is. And I'm sitting there putting like, I don't know, noodles or rice. And I just happen to look up and I'm like, what in the world? Like, bro, I mean, just so big, dude. And I'm like, the Chinese buffet at my house, like where I'm from, we could fit about, I don't know, you know, for Dre's purposes. Let me be honest about how many. Let me see. I could probably fit at least 15, like where the food places are, like maybe more. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 15 or 20, dude. So that thing's 15 or 20 times bigger, like where the food's at, than what I'm used to. Like, it was so big. And he's like, no, but you said 25. There's probably people in here like, why do we got to keep hearing about this stupid buffet? I don't know. All right. We're going to go over 2 Kings 5. Let's see. We did pretty much 70% of it already. And CJ, is CJ still not here? Oh, my Lord. Y'all better hold his feet to the fire. I'll be there. I promise.
Going to be a butt whooping tomorrow.
That's right. No, ain't going to be no whooping. We're going to tell him, you got to go to YouTube, sir. No.
That's the butt whooping. That's the butt whooping.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what Jess calls a disciplina. We're going to put him in disciplina.
Disciplina. Yeah.
We're going to disciplina his butt. All right. So some of the things that I was going to point out was, I think we kind of stopped off around 15. Let's see.
We stopped at, I want to say it was 18. 18.
Yeah, 17, 18. Yeah, I'm just gonna start. Yeah, no, it was right there, 17, 18, somewhere right there. So I'm just gonna kind of go over 17, and so Naaman's been cleansed at this point, and he says, "Shall there not then, I pray thee?" So he's praying, meaning he's asking Elisha. He said, "Be given to thy servant," talking about himself, 2 mules, burden of earth. And I know it's hard to prove, but the mules being mentioned here is not really animals. It's like servants, like manservants, really. And they're like, well, why does it say mules? Look, it is possible it could be mules. I've looked at it so many different ways. But the only time that this word is used is right here. So this word right here, mules, with the apostrophe on the outside, which is like muleses. if you can't see it, it's he's saying thy servant two muleses. That's pretty much what it says. It has the apostrophe S on the outside, but it's the only time that this word is used in the whole Bible. And I'm going to show you why the possibility is that it's male servants. But he says, I pray thee, given to thy servant 2 mules, burden of earth. And it's referring to works. And that's another reason why I say it's the animals, because of the way it's talked about. But the way, I'll go through it and I'll show you. And, man, there's so much to say here. What time is it? Okay, so a lot of times, donkeys, remember, mules and donkeys are not the same thing, right? And so when you look up this word mules with the apostrophe S, it's only used one time, and it is talking about a male mule, okay? But when it's talking about burden of earth, meaning that, like, there's so much, he's pretty much saying, hey, let me give you these two mules, animals that have, like, all kinds of stuff on it. It's burden of earth, meaning it has gold and silver and all these things. But it wouldn't have been right for Elisha to take those things, because then Naaman would have believed that he paid to be cleansed. And we all know that that's not true spiritually. And so other people say that it's talking about male servants, because that's what is given to Ghazi. We'll get to it in a minute. But there's animals being mentioned here too. And Elisha explains it when we get further down. So I just wanted to throw both of those at you. But in my personal opinion, I believe it is animals, but I do understand why people say it could be talking about male servants. But
in the New King James Version, it is animals.
No, I know.
Please let your servants be given 2 male loads of earth.
Yeah, I know, but
mule loads. I'm sorry, mule.
Yeah, mule loads. I was just going over, like, I can understand why people will say servants, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But I don't see the significance of the argument right either way, because either way, the point is that Elisha turned it down. That's all that really matters. Okay, and so
hey Trot, what's the address again?
Yeah, we're at 2 Kings 5:17, and it says, "And Naaman said, Shall there not then, I pray thee, be given to thy servant 2 mules, burden of earth? For thy servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto the Lord." 18. "And this thing the Lord pardon thy servant, that when my master goeth," he's talking about the king, because remember, he's the right hand of the king. So he says, "When my master go into the house of Rimmon, when my master go into the house of Rimmon to worship there, and he leaneth on my hand, and I bow myself in the house of Rimmon, then I bow down myself in the house of Rimmon, the Lord pardon thy servant these things." He's basically just saying, look, man, you know that I'm the king's right-hand man. And when he goes in there to worship, I'm right there with him, and he leans on my hand when he does this. Like, is this going to be held accountable to me if I'm doing these things? And he makes it clear, I'm not going to worship any other God, but am I going to get in trouble if I'm like with him when this is happening? And let's see. And
hey, 19. CJ's in the house there, Trot.
Oh, is he? Hey, CJ, you gonna come up, or we gonna make you listen to this on YouTube, bro? Since you're over here, because thank God you're lucky, bro. Because I'm about to go over John. But anyway, so 19, "And he said unto him, Go in peace. So he departed from him a little ways," meaning while he was a little way off in Gazi. Which name, I don't think we went over Ghazi's name. His name is Valley of Visionary. That's what his name means. "But Ghazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, Behold," now this is Ghazi just talking to himself. He said, "Behold, my master hath spared Naaman, this Syrian." Now notice he said this Syrian. So he's saying this Gentile, right? Because he's a Syrian. He's like, man, he spared this Syrian in not receiving at his hand that which he brought, meaning he brought all this stuff, and he's a Gentile. Like, what does it matter? Like, he's not understanding. You could tell there's a confusion here with Ghazi. He says, "But as the Lord liveth," and this is funny because this is how Naaman answers. Elisha answers Naaman in 16. He says, "But he said, As the Lord liveth, before who I stand, I will receive none," telling Naaman, I'm not taking nothing from you. But he starts off and says, "As the Lord liveth." And here's Ghazi, and he says, and we're not going to take nothing that he brought. He goes, "But as the Lord liveth, I will run after him." It's so funny. He's like, Ghazi's looking at it like, because Elisha says, "Well, as the Lord liveth," like if he's like doing this special like prophecy, speaking to some kind of special prophecy, like just because what he's saying, it's going to be okay. And he said, "I will run after him and take some what of him." So Ghazi followed after Naaman, and when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighteth down from the chariot to meet him and said, "Is all well?" And in Hebrew, that phrase "all well," a lot of the times it means is everything at peace. And so that's what he's saying, is everything at peace. And he says, yeah, everything's at peace. he said, my master has sent me. Now we know this is not true. We just saw that he said to himself, he said, has sent me, saying, behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 chains of garments. So he's saying that Elisha said. And Naaman, now you have to understand, Naaman's already willing to give things. And Naaman said, be content, which is pleased, be pleased, take 2 talents and be urged him and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags. So he's given them a lot of stuff here. And he says, with 2 changes of garments, watch this, and laid them upon 2 of his servants. So when you go look at this word up here for mule, and it's the only time that this word is used in the entire Bible, because it's just not mules. It's mules with an apostrophe on the outside of the S. And so I'm not really sure why people, and notice he gave them 2 servants. And remember, back then, if you had a servant, you can treat them like a mule. You can make them carry a bunch of stuff, right? And so that's why people say that. But to me, it just still seems like it's talking about an animal, but it doesn't really matter. Trust me, like I spent hours trying to make sure, you know, well, is this a person? You know, why is this the only time mule is used this way here? You know, and I'm sure there's an answer to it. But I'm not going to be unfair and throw a bunch of guesses. So I'm going to say I believe it's mule animals that he offered. But what he gave them here is he gave them 2 servants, right, which is in 23. And he laid them, talking about the bags and the garments, he laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him. And when he came to the tower, which is funny about that word tower. Well, I had it written down here. I think that's secret place. Yeah. But it's just funny, though, here that this word tower basically means secret place. So it's like, and when he came to the secret place, he took them from their hand and bestowed them in the house. But either way, when he came to the tower, he took them from the hand, bestowed in the house, and he let the man go, and they departed. So the servants carried the stuff. He took it from them, and then told them to leave, and they departed. But when he went in and stood before his master, Elisha said unto him, where comest thou, Giza? And he said, thy servant went no whither, like went nowhere. So he's like, I didn't go anywhere. And he said unto him, he says, was not my heart with thee when the man turned again from the chariot to meet thee? He basically is telling him, I was there, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, isn't my spirit with you? Wasn't my heart with you when you went? He said, is it, and this is the catch right here. Is it a time to receive money? And then notice he's you could tell kind of everything that Naaman brought with him on the asses, or I'm sorry, the mules, because he says, is it time to receive money or a time to receive garments, oliveyards, vineyards, sheep, oxen, manservants, maidservants? He's naming all these things. He's like, is this a time to take? And the significance is this man just received a cleansing. Is this the time to take a gift or to take things from him? And see, that's the thing. This is how you know that Giza, the servant here, is not clearly seeing what's going on, because he doesn't understand that these type of things that come from God, that there's no merit. There could be no merit. There's no earning. It's a free gift. And because Gazi cannot see that even to the Gentiles, this gift is given. Because he cannot see that, this is what he tells them. He says, the leprosy, therefore, of Naaman. And here's a question. What's the leprosy of Naaman? What is it?
Oh, it's, what do you mean? He had leprosy.
Yeah, he had leprosy. But we went over a spiritual cleansing. So what's the leprosy?
Oh, it's sin. It's yeah. His leprosy it's the opposite of that.
What is his name? What does his name mean? Do you remember in English? Pleasant, right? So what's the opposite of pleasant?
It's desolate.
Desolate. Yeah. So right. So he tells him, the leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow. And so this is referring to not being able to understand or see that the gift from God, which is being cleansed, is a free gift. And the only type of people that cannot see that is people who are desolate. That's the only kind of people that can't see it. And so if you have people who are defending the law, my friend, I'm telling you, there's a very good chance they're not even saved. Oof. When the only thing they see is the law. Because just like this servant, they don't know, not receive anything. How can this man earn such a gift without giving or working? The attitude of Giza is of this works mentality. Like if he's not supposed to get these things for free. Like what people are starting to call cheap grace. Oh, so you can just go do whatever you want. Man, I've never met any Christian telling another Christian, yes, go sin all you want. I've never met it. I've never met this type of attitude. So it's and they go, yeah, man, there's people. And so I'm like, who are you talking about? And so they bring up someone that's like confused about certain things that are wrong. It doesn't matter what those certain things are, but they'll tell you there's nothing wrong with these things. And they'll say, see, they tell you there's nothing wrong. But then when you go to that person that they're telling you that loves sin, indulges in sin, you go up to these people and you say, hey, is it good to unalive someone? And they'll say, no. Notice they understand all the other things that are wrong, but they're having an issue admitting that there's this other side, that they're having an issue. So that means that they're damned to hell. That makes no sense. They're not damned to hell yet, because they clearly understand that there are things that are wrong in this world. So then
that's a pride issue if they don't want to admit it.
Okay, so but either way though,
exactly,
we have to meet people where they are, man. Like, again, I know y'all, I've probably said this a lot of times, but when I went to Ireland the first time, I was young, and they offered me beer in church. It was a long time. It was a long time ago, but I remember calling my dad. I was like, hey, Dad, these people going to hell over here. Like, they are drinking in church. Hey, a lot of these people grew up like that, man. You're going to sit there because you live in America and you're going to point your finger at these people. Bro, what if that's how they grew up? Regardless if it's right or wrong, the point is God will speak to their heart. They'll learn. But for you to point their finger as though that they're supposed to 100% like just understand this day one. Let's say they got saved yesterday, right? And they're like, yeah, drink. And they're like, they're sinners. They're teaching people to drink. Well, bro, right now they don't think it's wrong. What do you mean? Don't you understand? They don't think it's wrong right now. So,
it's like for me, I used to be Catholic, and I used to grow up thinking that I had to confess my sins and all this other stuff like that. And it's taken me a long time to get away from that thought process of mentality, thinking that I got to earn it, and it's, slowly but surely the Holy Spirit's been convicting me, through friends, through brothers and sisters, like through this group, and slowly but surely the Holy Spirit's been helping me release that thought process. And it's been, so it takes time, like I said. I mean, it's not, sometimes the Holy Spirit can, fix you right then and there, or he may want you to take time in order to, I picture it like this, God is playing the long game. He doesn't, if it's something that you're not going to grasp right away, he's not going to just, give it to you that way. He wants you to, to maybe go through it a long ways, so that way you can grasp it and hold on to it. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, it's not that it's individually based, right? All the rules are the same for everybody. So God's not saying, okay, I'm going to let this one go through this specifically. It's not that. It's this right here. Adam sinned. Everybody's born into this world with sin. But in order for people to see me, these things have to happen. And all the things are the same for everybody. It's no different than anyone. And what I mean by that is seed time and harvest. The Bible makes it clear that it's seed, time, and harvest, meaning the seed has to be planted, it has to be watered, and the harvest will come. So seed, time, and harvest will not stop. It will never stop until God wants it to stop. And so our heart is the soil. His word is the seed. And the harvest comes only, and the harvest being the understanding, that only comes after the seed is planted, after it's watered. And Jesus said that once a plant is seed, first comes the blade, then the ear, and then the full corn in the ear. So there's a time, and it's not the timing that God is controlling over you. That's not the kind of time.
Yeah, it's just you trying to take the time to understand. It may take you longer to understand than others. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and that's why I say, unfortunately, even though seed time and harvest is true, unfortunately for some people, it's seed time.
I'm kind of one of those.
I know, isn't that horrible?
What's always true is first comes the blade, which is the grass. Right after you plant a seed, the grass comes out. First is the blade, then the ear of the corn. Then the ear, and then the full corn in that ear. And the word is the same way. And so there's no point of getting frustrated, because it's gonna happen. The harvest, the truth, the understanding of His word, it will take root, it will grow, and you will understand. And so it's no big deal. But
every once in a while, man, I ride that short bus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get it. No big deal. No big deal. All right. Well, let's see. So CJ.
Trot, I'm going to drop down. I got to get back to work. But I'll be in the comments. I'll be listening the whole time.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
Thanks, brother.
Yep. Let's see. Where's
CJ?
CJ, I don't know. CJ, you gonna come up or not?
I think CJ got complicated.
Oh, there he is. He finally come up. He's hiding.
Nah,
You're over here hiding, bro. You're the one that wanted to go over John 5, and now you're over here hiding. This guy.
Yeah.
CKB, what's going on?
Oh, not much. How y'all doing?
Doing amazing, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm just taking a break. I'm trying to put a new patio in, but I'm in a place that's barbarically hot, so taking a little break. Anyway, so I got a question.
Do what?
What's that? No, I was going to.
What'd you just say?
Nothing. We're talking over each other, so.
Oh.
No, it's just.
Sound like you said you had a question.
Yeah, no, I was going to run something by you all. I've been thinking about it a lot today. I was a little broken up over it last night, so I was on a Christian Live last night talking about it, and I've been thinking about it all day. So just a little background how it's just a real brief story. It's a true story. This is last evening. So I live in an urban area, and we have a neighborhood association. We live near downtown, so we cover like a 5-block area, and we cooperate closely with the police on a lot of different things. And we have a program here called Citizens on Patrol that's sponsored by the police, and we have a bunch of members who are in it. You get a uniform and you get training, and you got a little thing, and you can walk around your neighborhood just to make your neighborhood safer. And we do it all the time. Anyway, so another thing about me is I run a cat rescue. So I'm retired, and one of my little things, I love cats more than people. I can say that pretty forthrightly. I'll make an exception for my daughter and a few.
Me too, bro. So don't worry about it.
Okay, good. So we got something in common. And anyway, so we're walking around, me and two of my friends who are in the association and in the program, and we come upon maybe guy looked about, I'd say he was about 6, 8 weeks old, and he was just laying in a driveway, looking really injured. Couldn't really tell it was dark. Couldn't really tell what was wrong with him. And there's a cat, obviously, I'm talking about, and he was suffering. You know, he was kind of spasming. So I told the guys, listen, man, you guys go ahead and finish the patrol, but I'm gonna take the cat back to my house and see what I can do to put him in some comfort, and see if I can get him to a bed. You know, figure out what's open and where I might have to go. And you know, I'm worried because you know emergency vet rooms are notorious ripoffs and stuff. I got a real reliable vet who I trust that I bring all my cats to, but he's not going to open till 8 a.m. and this was about 11 p.m. last night. So anyway, I bring the cat home. And I'm trying to feed him a little. He's not really eating. He's taking water, but you know he's struggling to drink the water. And so I'm sitting with him, and it's about maybe I guess half an hour that I'm sitting with him, looking at my phone, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And then he just, you know, he's spasming, and then he just passes away. He dies. And you know, since I've had a cat rescue, this is, you know, I've lost some over the course, but this one, for some reason, this one hit me really hard. And it's still been bothering me all day. And, you know, in my worldview, you know, you guys can tell I'm an atheist. This is just what we...
Hold on a second. Hold on. I can tell you're an atheist? How?
Oh, you see the atheist symbol in my thing? That's an atheist.
I'm not, my screen's to the side, buddy. I wasn't even
okay.
looking
I haven't really said anything. There's nothing you would have been... I'm sorry, that was...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. You care for a cat. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no way you could have told from that story. But that's me. And so, you know, this is what we go through. This is reality. Things die, people die. This is the reality of, this is just it. This is the way the universe works. But, you know, I came on it live last night. I just had to ask people, why would an omnibenevolent God allow this suffering? What is the purpose of the suffering of this little creature? There's no moral purpose to it. The creature doesn't have free will to choose sin, and therefore it's its fault that it lied in that driveway for hours suffering and passed away in pain. You know, why? It seems like trivial. You know, I know I'm asking about a cat. That seems trivial in some ways. This is a creature. This is a creature with, it's a sentient being. It suffered pain. You know, it may have felt agony. It may have felt fear. You know, why would God allow that? I just curious how this fits into your view.
Is that the question? How God allows cat suffering?
No, you can broaden it out.
Oh.
Let's not be.
Well, no, I mean, there's no need to broaden it out. I mean, I think I can appreciate the actual context that you brought. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with the question at all. But to be fair, the question is, why does God allow cat suffering? That is literally what we're talking about.
Yeah, but you know, there's a famous case. There's I forget the author of the paper in philosophy. It's describing a fawn, like a deer, right? A little baby deer. It's in a forest fire. It gets caught in the forest fire, and it burns. It doesn't die. It just. Have you heard of this case? Have you heard of this?
Sounds like Bambi. Sounds like the movie Bambi.
It's like a little Bambi, right? It's in a forest fire. You know, this really happens, obviously. But no, I bring my case because this actually happened to me last night. It's the same thing as in this philosophy paper.
We don't need a
floor and actually just burns slowly.
Yeah, CKB. We don't have to go through all the scenario. I think we can all sit here and go over 50,000 of them. Correct or not?
Yeah, I'm just trying to say, don't try. I don't trivialize this by just saying why cats suffer. It's just this unnecessary suffering. That's the question. Well, what's the purpose?
I get it. What I'm saying is, obviously, there's going to be more than one incident. You know, obviously, cats are not the only things that suffer. That's the point that I'm making. That we don't have to use all the examples. I understand what you're saying. My question would be, how many Christians have you asked this to?
You'd be about the third. I was online with a guy. Do you know Kyle?
No, I
Kyle
don't. But let me
Andrews?
ask you this. Let me ask you this about the other Christians. What was their answer? What was their answer to you?
Okay, so the first one I went on, this was like a philosophy type Christian who had some philosophy type atheists who like to
Mm-hmm.
discuss everything at this 30,000 foot super intellectual philosophy thing. And they were kind of making fun of me over it, like, what is this? And because I was all broken up about it last night, I was a little drunk too. And,
Yeah.
he starts up with it's God is mysterious, which I just
Okay.
couldn't take. It's just a mystery. We can't judge God. Who knows what the purpose of it is? It's just
Right.
what God, God allows it. It's part of God's plan. You can't judge it. So that's come on.
Okay.
And then there was the soul building answer. I went on to another one where I have some Christian friends that I talk to
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. They gave me the soul building answer, which is, this was God giving you a way to show your compassion and to care for this animal. So it was a way for God. The animal suffered so I could become a better person.
Okay.
Come on now, come on, please. And so I just can't get a satisfactory answer.
Yeah. No. Well, obviously you can't, right? Because you've already asked a few Christians, and so you're going to continue on your journey, right? Of asking. Have you?
I may not. I mean,
Have you
that's
thought?
what I'm
Huh?
interested in today because
I
I'm
got a
on mine
question for
today.
you.
Yeah, because
Hold on, Bill, hold on a second. Hold on. So, I respect anybody that has questions. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But have you ever been on this show before?
no, I don't think so.
No. Okay. So, we kind of talk about one thing on here, just so you know, and you can ask anybody that's ever came up here. We already have like a syllabus, if you will, like things that we discuss and talk about. So we don't really go outside of what the topic is about.
Don't
And
worry.
so the topic today is 2 Kings 5 and
Okay.
John 5. That's pretty much what we're discussing.
No worries.
So if you want to DM me, we can DM. If not, I'm sure that there's other lives that they love like
If
just
anybody wants
random.
to, I followed you. So, but if anybody wants to send me their answer, I'm curious if it's a different one than God is a mystery and or
Well, what I was going to
suffering
say,
occurs so
what I was going
we
to
can
say
improve
was,
ourselves.
well, what I was going to say was, have you ever tried like asking if they're, have you tried calling out God and talking to him about it rather than asking Christians?
Well, I would love for God to talk to me, but that doesn't seem to ever happen. So the next best
Well, again,
option I have is to ask people who do
the
talk to God.
point I'm making, the
I
point I'm
assume
making
God
is,
talks to you, or does he not talk to you?
well, here's the point I'm making though. The point I'm making is this: if you feel that Christians are going to have an answer, if that's how you feel, I'm trying to see like whatever you believe in your life, why is that not just satisfactory enough? What you believe? Why do you have to go ask other people their opinions if what you believe is satisfactory
Ready to
enough?
hear what they have to say.
Why? For what? For what reason?
Just
To mock
I'm
them?
interested.
To
I'm
mock
not mocking
them?
you, but why am I? How is this mocking you?
No. That's why I'm asking. If what you believe is satisfactory, what is the point of asking Christians
Yeah,
their
it's not.
viewpoints?
It's not satisfactory. I don't like suffering. I don't
No.
like needless.
I didn't say you like suffering. I said you believe that there's no God, or maybe I'm wrong. Do you believe there is a God or not?
Yeah, my current belief state is that there's no good evidence to show that there's any
Okay,
supernatural.
right. It's okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you believe that is satisfactory, what is the
But
point of
isn't this
going
an
around and
important
asking?
question for you to have an answer to?
Well, again, my question is, if what you believe is satisfactory, why are you asking Christians what they believe?
To hear the answer.
For what reason? If you don't believe what they're saying is true to begin with,
I'm interested to hear what the answer is.
I know for what? For what reason?
I am. I'm just interested. It's something that interests me.
I know, but for what reason? For what cause? To the conclusion of what?
No cause. Just to
Okay,
have that dialogue,
so
just to hear
right.
what the answers are.
Right. But I tell you what, if you want to DM me, if you want to DM me your question, I'll DM with you. But on the live, I don't want to take any more time on the live to discuss this. I appreciate you coming up, but if you want to DM me, you can, and we can discuss it through there.
Yeah, I'll take any answers anybody has about this question.
All right.
I tell you something, bro. If you DM Trot, he's going to DM you back, and I think you'll probably get a better result that way. It's going to be more personal. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, I follow him. So if he looks at his follows, he'll see that I follow him.
Well, like I said, if you DM me, I'll DM you back. We'll just leave it at that. So we're going to continue with what we're talking about. You coming up. All right. So CJ, what's up, man?
What's up?
What's going on, man? Hey, everybody's sitting here waiting for you to come up, bro, and you didn't even come through, man.
Hey, I was chilling in the comments. You were already started, so I was like, okay.
Yeah. All right. So, John 5, are you there? Are you at John 5 already?
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
But I don't know if John 5 answers my question.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't even know. We're going to find out what your question is here in a minute.
John 5:5, right?
Yeah. Well, it's I think it's all of John 5, but.
Okay. Hey, who is Emmanuel? Is that same person?
Scott,
what's his name? No, in the comments, silly.
Nunaki? Or
yeah, is that Anunnaki, Jess?
Yeah.
Keeps changing his name.
Yeah, I got him.
Bro, what is wrong with your? What is wrong with?
Grow up. You need to start acting your age and not your shoe size. Grow up.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's ever going to happen. We've been telling him that for like 2 years, and he's
hopefully he will. Maybe he didn't take his medicine today.
And I'll say something, like, I don't even know the guy, like, at all. Like, I think me and him has been on a live maybe once, maybe twice. I don't know the guy at all, period. I know nothing about this dude. I do not know him. I don't know why I don't know. Well, clearly, there's some issues there. I don't know what they are, but it just trips me out the way he comes. It seems like him and Cube are friends, like kind of the way they go in people's lives and just like say like off the wall type stuff. But I don't know. I don't know the dude. All right. Yeah. You said, I got it written down right here. You said John 5, 1 through 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and read that bad boy.
All right. Oh, that's gross. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I got a second. Later on when you're done, I don't know if you want to do it now. Yakub wants to come up. He says he has good news he wants to tell you.
Who's that?
Yakub, I've known Yakub for like 3 now. Someone's got to echo. I think it's you, Bill. For 3 years now. He used to be a Muslim. He kind of left, but he wasn't. He was kind of like, he was reading the scriptures, but I'm not sure if he finally made, I don't know where his journey's at because I haven't spoken to him in a couple months. But I know that he was searching, so.
Well, I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with 2 seconds or 2 minutes.
Hey,
Yakub, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I used to be called Yakub Dawa.
Oh, wait a minute. I got you, Yakub. I'm so sorry. I got you confused with my other friend who also left.
Okay.
He used to debate us, Trot. He was a really heavy Islamic believer, and the Lord saved him. He's come back to the Lord.
Yeah, Trot, you've messaged me before. We've debated in Central Dallas Live, and I was rude to you, so I just wanted to apologize and tell you that I accepted Yeshua as my savior. So I just wanted to come up.
Now, when was that? You said me and you debated. How long ago was that?
It was long ago. You were talking about the rod, Jesus and the rod, and Moses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'm the stick man. Y'all call me the stick man.
Yeah. But I was really rude to you, man, and me and you inboxed each other in the past, so I just wanted to come up here and tell you the good news and apologize if I was ever rude to you.
Yeah. Hey, if you were to put a timeline, just a ballpark, how long ago would you say that was?
Oh man, almost a year ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow.
Hey, Jakub, I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I got you. I got you confused with the other one. I just because your names are so similar. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, man. No worries. I think CJ's about to read John 5. I'm not trying to like force you in this study. I just don't want to get off track because I kind of already did with somebody just a minute ago. But we're just going to go over John 5, 1 through 16. CJ had a question on it. We didn't get to go over it earlier. So we're going over right now. Obviously, if you want to stay, you can. If not, I understand. But obviously you can DM me whenever you want. But I think CJ is going to start reading, and we're going to get to it. CJ, you ready, bro?
Yep.
Just hang out with us, buddy.
Yeah, let's do it. All
Go
right.
ahead, man.
After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and
Do you want
Jesus
to
went
say
up
the
to
address real
Jerusalem.
quick, CJ? There's a
Yep.
lot of people that don't
John
know the
5,
address.
John 5, 1 through 16.
Yeah.
After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there was at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day, it is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He made me whole. He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Jesus had conveyed himself away. A multitude began being in that place. Afterward Jesus findeth him in the temple, and saith unto him, Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. The man departed, and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus, and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Sabbath. 16.
Yeah, you got 2 more, 17 and 18.
Okay. But Jesus answered them, My Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father, making him equal with God.
Yeah. So, what was the question about this?
The question was if they were doing it as far as going into the waters and gathering around that pool because of what happened with Naaman, and they were seeing it carnally.
Yeah.
But
Well, remember
yeah,
that these waters physically and carnally would stir up,
right.
and the people would jump in it and receive a healing, right? So there's always been this physical notation of like people becoming cleansed in physical water in the Old Testament. So like even Jesus, because he's walking here, this is not New Testament yet. This is
Right.
Old Testament. This is him fulfilling everything that the Old Testament claimed that he would do physically first, right? And then so right here where it says, look at the description. It says right here too, it says, now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in Hebrew Bethesda, having 5 porches. Is that a coincidence? It has 5 porches. It says all coves, canals, doorways, but it had 5. 5 is a number of grace in the Bible. So it's just not a coincidence that that this pool had 5 porches. It's not like there's just no way around it. Okay, so that was your question. I wasn't sure what you're asking about it, but yeah, so this has always been a thing in the Old Testament that, and especially right here, you know, the rumor was that angels would stir up the water. Yeah. And so, you know, whoever fell in it first received their healing. But Jesus asked him if he wanted to be whole. And he started talking about what everybody else is doing. And, you know, like, oh, well, I want to go there, but everybody's getting in my way. And he's asking him, do you want to be whole? And so he tells him, take up your bed and walk. So we see him opening people's physical eyes. We see him opening the deaf ears of people. We see him raising the unalive people. And then we see him telling people to take up their bed and follow me. And he said, these signs shall follow them. The people that follow him, these signs shall follow. And it tells you that the eyes will be open and all these things will happen. But it comes back down to spiritual sight, spiritual hearing. And it says the dumb will speak. And that's talking about people who don't speak about the grace, love, and mercy of Jesus, and all of a sudden they start doing it. And it's because of that. Take up your bed and walk is talking about preaching the gospel. So Jesus healing all these people physically in the Bible was depicting a spiritual healing that was going to occur of the spiritual water. And so once people are saved, their spiritual eyes are open, their spiritual ears are open, and they talk about the gospel, and the Bible tells us how beautiful are their feet who preach the gospel of peace. This is the taking up your bed and walking. There's only one way to walk in God, and that's through his son, Jesus, which is grace. So if you're not preaching the message of Christ, then you're lame. If you're not seeing Christ, you're blind. If you're not hearing Christ's words, you're deaf. And if you're not talking about him, I don't care if you're reading the name Jesus. Like there's a person can pick up this Bible, not know anything about God, could care less, and that's who they're talking about. They have eyes, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. They can't talk about it. They don't even understand it. And they definitely aren't going to preach about it being true. So this person is blind, deaf, dumb, and lame. And I don't mean lame like in 2023 Western America. You're lame, bro. No, not talking about that. It ain't talking about that kind of lame. You know, but what else is going on? Well, that wasn't that lengthy.
Didn't take that long.
No.
That was milk.
That was, yeah. Well, you could thank CJ for the milk, man.
Hey, anytime.
He wanted to give y'all the bottle today, apparently.
Bottle feeding babies out here.
He's like, anytime, man, anytime. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking up the.
Well, I guess Dre never came, man.
Yeah. I
I
didn't
don't see
see
him
him
in
at
here
all.
anyway.
I'm looking up the definition
Yeah.
for Bethesda.
So,
I
Trot,
think
you
it
know
was,
what I actually study that's pretty cool?
Do what now?
You know what I study that's pretty cool?
What's that?
So, you know, whenever Yeshua was crucified, they put the sign above his head, and it was in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. And I always wondered why the Pharisees got so mad that they put the sign up and told Pilate to bring it down. Well, they put the first letter of each word as an abbreviation to spell it out. They didn't actually put the whole saying. So if you look up what Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews, is in Hebrew, it spells out Yahweh.
Yeah, the Bible is just, I mean, dude, it is so full of things like that, and Yahweh is everywhere. I mean, it is just remarkable, like the way that it is just. I mean, it's just not a coincidence for it to be everywhere that it is in there. It's actually pretty amazing.
And
I think they say there's 65,000 references, right? Am I right?
yeah.
yeah,
Those are just the
Yeah,
carnal ones.
well, that's carnal.
Yeah.
That's 65,000 carnal
Exactly.
ones.
Exactly.
If they were to do like what we talk about, it'd be another couple of a million. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest with you,
It can be
we wouldn't have
infinite.
enough time. We wouldn't have enough time to fill the even a computer up with how many times it's in there. But it's still, no matter how you look at it, it's still neat that we have people that's going to take the time to go over the references, because it's just, I mean, man, it's,
well, it goes
I mean,
deeper than that too, because Yeshua was anointed by God, right? So he was actually, I did research, he was crucified on an olive tree. So whenever they hammered that sign above his head, the olive oil actually was dripping on Jesus's head while he was dying. He was being anointed.
well, I'm sure there's, so many things of that nature that is very possible. And I've heard people talk about that it could have been an olive tree, and then others say, well, no, it really wasn't. And you're like, okay, well, what I always say is, whether he was or was not crucified on an actual olive tree, what we do know is he was the anointed one at birth. So it's not like he needed the oil from the olive tree. But I've heard that before, and it's possible because the rabbis tell us a lot of stuff. Let me see. The rabbis tell us that after David unalived Goliath, it doesn't tell us in the scriptures, but the rabbis tell us that David, after he unalived Goliath, took his head and he buried it in Mount Golgotha.
Yeah, actually, I think I spoke to Jess about that a week or so ago. I brought it up in a live. Yeah, I started studying it too.
Yeah, and again, whether it's true or not, those things are cool to talk about, but the Bible doesn't tell us that. So it's not that you can't have the conversation. No, have the conversation. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, it means a lot more when the Bible actually says it. And sometimes we're looking for things in black and white, the black letters on the white pages, when the black letters on the white pages doesn't really clearly state things. But when you start studying it out, you'll see things to be more clear, like the one, Yah, that you brought up earlier, that Jesus is the rod that Moses carried. And there's a lot of Christians. Now, that one's in here, but, how come Christians don't see it? Yet it's there, but yet they don't see it. So, again, what's the issue here? Whether Jesus, what type of wood was used for him to be crucified, regardless, or whether or not David actually took that skull and buried it, those things are not in the Bible. So it always but it always boggles my mind that the things that are said in there, if people aren't seeing. And you know how you know they're not seeing it is they don't talk about it. And
Yeah, I agree, and I think a big part of it for me why I like discussing that because I come from a Jewish. Come up from a Jewish family, and then I was a Muslim for a while, and
yeah,
a lot of that has to do with Jewish culture and stuff like that. So I like really talking about that with people who are Jewish because it's a
right.
deeper understanding for them. Like, wow, I never imagined that. So it goes a little bit deeper with them. So
Yeah.
that's why I like studying because it blows my mind coming from a Jewish
No, they're
background.
fun. It's fun. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's fun. Like for anyone that's a believer, those things are. It's like a word puzzle, man. It's
Yeah.
worth. Like if you were to just play any word puzzle, to me personally, I don't get anything out of it. I'm not saying they can't entertain you for 5 minutes, but to play with God's word puzzle, it's just so much more fun, man. And so yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm looking at the definition for Bethesda or what? Yeah, Bethesda. It says Greek.
Yeah.
I tried to go Hebrew, but it's
Well, we're in
giving
the
me a
we're in the
little
new we're in the
trouble.
new we're in the New Testament, so it's going to be translated in Greek. So you got to go to the
Oh,
Greek.
okay. Okay.
Now, a lot of the
Okay.
Greek words come, the origin of it comes from Hebrew, but what you do is look at it in the Greek, and if the origin
Mhm.
is Hebrew, you'll be told that in your study, and then you can
Okay.
go back and you'll find the Hebrew word that this word is coming from, and you'll be able to put some things together. But
Okay.
initially, we'll just
Yeah.
start off and go look at the Greek. So what is it? What does it say?
Okay. It says house of mercy or place for receiving and caring for the sick, or
Yeah,
house of olives,
yeah,
not as some purpose. That's all it says.
yeah. Mm,
Does
absolutely.
the Bible Hub, does the Bible Hub will have it, it'll show it if it's in Hebrew in the Hebrew concordance also.
I don't know. I'm looking on Bible Hub now, but it's making me go Greek, which is fine. If it's Greek, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kathleen Dugas. Kathleen, are we? Let me see. Do y'all know Kathleen Dugas? I want to say I've seen her in here before. Mm,
I never Jesse.
Yeah, I don't have her as a friend, so I'm not.
let's see. One in the flock. One of the flock says, "I'm sorry, I spelt single edge." So she's a
That's not.
friend. Yeah, Kathleen. I need to. Okay, Kathleen wants to talk about. Let me go back to her. Um, Trot, can you speak on the flaming sword, single-edged sword, and double-edged sword? I'll probably leave the single-edged sword alone right now because it kind of will take it to a different direction. I mean, it's not like it's totally irrelevant, but if you want to talk about the flaming sword or the double-edged sword, I mean, we can talk about that a little bit. That's no problem. So, yeah. So, the first time we see flaming sword is in the Garden of Eden. So we can go to that for a little bit. We got 30 minutes. We got plenty of time. Let's see. Hey, CJ, can you look up Ehud? I think it's Judges 6, but can you find where it talks about the sword that he made? Can you just just find it?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go to the Garden of Eden. The flaming sword, send him forth. Let's see. I know it's going to be in 2, I believe. Let's see. Skins. And Lord God, behold a man. Yeah, it should be 24. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, so he drove out man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. So sword is the word, the spirit. That's what the fiery sword is. Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. But the misunderstanding there is like if he came to like physically unalive people, he's not saying he came to bring, or better yet, because we're talking about peace. If you remember, and I promise we're getting to the point here. My phone is dying. Oh yeah, man. No, yeah, you're good, bro. DM me, and yeah, if you're still there, our descaled show is every morning, 7:30 to 10 a.m., 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. You come join us, hang out whenever you want, buddy. Matter of fact, that I don't even think let me look at let's see. All right. Yeah. So, a Jess or Bill, can one of y'all read something real quick?
I'm not car driving.
Okay, Jess, can you?
Yeah, where are we at?
Can we go to where Jesus is born and the angels appeared?
Matthew,
just go to the one. Go to the one where the angels appear to the shepherds and speaks to them, where he says a child is born. Okay.
Oh, okay. When he's born. Now I'm thinking when the angel went to Mary.
No. Where he's born and the angel appears to the shepherds and he talks to them.
Give me a second.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, buddy. Let me see. Oh. Agape love. Never mind.
Okay. And it came to pass as the angels were going away from them into heaven, the shepherds said, okay. Is it Luke 2:17?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out.
And it came to pass as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, let us now go even unto Bethlehem and see these things.
No, before that. So right there, okay. Hold on. So the angels didn't talk to them?
Well,
go before.
Glory. Okay. You want to go. And the angels said, okay. And the angels said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you
so
is
watch
born...
this. Hey, Jess, can you not hear me when I'm talking or what? Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just want to point out, because it's all relevant. The Bible is so relevant. Everything is. It's remarkable. So he's telling them good tidings of great joy to all people. Like, it's very important, like, to make sure that that's understood. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and he says, wait a minute. Where was I at now? And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sure afraid. And the angel said unto them, fear not. I'm sorry, just start it back all over again. Fear not, behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Yea, you shall find the baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men.
Okay, so he said, hold on. And it says, on earth what?
It said, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace,
Okay,
good
right there. Hold on.
will."
Right there. Right there. On earth, peace. Ain't that what it says? On earth, peace.
Exactly. And on
So
earth
then why did
peace.
why did Jesus say, I didn't come to bring peace?
Mm.
Do we need to go to that? Let's go. Keep that highlighted or whatever. Matter of fact, let me write it down. Kathleen, I promise it's all relevant. Okay? It's all relevant. Okay, so what did you just read, Jess?
I just read Luke 2:14.
Okay. Luke 2. Really? Luke 2:14. Okay, now 14 is the verse that says peace
Glory
to
to
all
God
men.
in the highest, and on earth peace.
Okay, on
Goodwill
earth.
towards men.
Okay, on earth.
Am I reading
Peace.
the King? Yeah, I'm reading the King James Version.
All right. Oh, good. I'm glad you're reading the Bible. Okay, so Luke 2:14. Okay, peace. All right, now let's go to where Jesus says, "I came to bring a sword." Let's go there. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
I'm looking for it too. Don't worry.
No, it wasn't that. I hit the wrong letter. Okay. I think that's in John. Isn't that in John?
I don't know.
Okay, let me see.
No, it's right here. Matthew 10:34 through 39. Do not think that I come to bring peace to the world. No, I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. But let me make sure. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Let's see. Matthew 10. Matthew 10. You got it? Yeah, go to Matthew 10, starting at 34, and see if you can find it there. I mean, obviously, it's going to be in another gospel. I'm just saying this might be the one that I'm referring to.
That's easy. 34 says, "Think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man at valence against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be thy of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that
Okay,
loveth
so
son..."
all right, that's good enough. All right, so here's a question. The angel said, "Peace and good tidings." Ain't that what the angel said? All right, but the address we are at
is 1034, Matthew 1034.
Yeah, so okay, guys, we're going over multiple things. So one of them is Matthew 10:34. Another one is Luke 2:14, because we're talking about double-edged sword right now, or the fiery sword. So we're not going to be able to make it to the single sword. Catherine, if you want to talk about our, I'll tell you what, if you show up tomorrow morning, we'll talk about the single-edged sword, because I got about 20-something minutes. I'm not going to be able to talk about all that in 20-something minutes. There's just no way, without me leaving out like just some awesome stuff. So I'll talk about the fiery sword, the double-edged sword right now. But I promise you, if you show up tomorrow morning, as soon as you get here, I'll try to finish whatever we were talking about. But if you get here top of the morning, then we'll start off with that. But if not, we'll have to wait. So, okay, so Jesus, the angels say in Luke 2:14, on earth peace. And then when Jesus is here, like grown, an adult walking around, he says, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the world. No, I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." So the question is, which one is it? Did he come to bring peace or not? Why did the angels say, "Oh my Lord, what's going on?"
Oh, I think that's Bill.
Bill, you got some crazy background noise, bro. But anyway, so why is it that the angel is saying, peace on earth. And then Jesus said, nah, I didn't come to bring peace. The angel's crazy.
Because the angel is the one saying peace on earth because Jesus is peace. But Jesus came to reveal his truth. The angel was just worshiping Jesus. He said peace on earth and all good
That was
works.
the angel's truth.
Exactly. That was the angel's truth, not God, not Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Is that the
right.
second coming he's talking about?
No.
Like Jesus in the second when he says I come to bring the sword.
Okay. So what is the sword? What is that? What is the fiery sword? What is that?
That's his word, isn't it? Isn't it the truth?
Okay.
The fiery
So
sword is the
if
truth.
the
It's his word.
okay, so if the sword is spirit, and the angels are saying peace on earth, what kind of peace on earth are they talking about?
Ooh, his peace.
The salvation.
So does that mean
the peace of salvation?
Okay, so does that mean that there's not going to be any more wars because there's peace on earth?
No.
That's what it says.
I
know, but hold on. That's what it says. It says peace on earth. That's what it says.
You're talking about the other Luke 2.
As a person.
Right?
I'm talking about what the angels said. The angels said on earth peace. That's what it said. So
as in
why
heaven.
are there wars?
Well, because Jesus is peace. He was on earth.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question
he
is
came on earth. He's here.
Okay, so why? Okay, listen.
Earth.
So listen.
Yeah.
The question again is, if the angels are saying peace on earth, why is Jesus saying I didn't come to bring peace? That's the question. Why is there this?
Oh, because if he's the peace, he should be bringing peace and not the sword. I get it. Okay. Hello.
So why does he say? I come not to bring peace, but a sword. But yet the angel said peace on earth.
Because just because he's peace, okay, just because Jesus is peace, because that's what he is, does not mean that what he came to bring is going to be peace.
Accepted.
Does that make any sense? I mean,
People don't
I'm not going to say anything else.
It's a choice to accept the peace or not.
I got it in my head. I just don't know how to explain it.
No, don't worry. We're just. I mean,
because I don't what I just said. I'm glad Dre's
y'all
not
should
here.
know, man, by now. Y'all should know. Hey, matter of fact, you can give Dre a hard time. Matter of fact, we're giving you a hard time right now because Dre's gonna go back and listen to this. So why don't everybody take a few seconds and give Dre a hard time? Jess, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to CJ, and then we'll go to Bill. Everybody, you got 5 seconds. Jess, you ready? Go.
You don't get to make fun of me.
All right, CJ, you're next, buddy.
I'm going to turn the other cheek.
Oh, wow. Bill, what you got?
Not all the words that Dre pronounces is pronounced correctly.
Oh, man.
Okay, wait, let me see if I can
Lord.
figure out this riddle here.
Yeah. Well, my 2 cents to Dre is he should have been an infantryman. Is what he should have done when he joined the service.
But it says here, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. He doesn't send peace on earth. He's already here. Why would he send it?
Hold on. Where are you at?
Because, okay, Matthew 10:34, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. He didn't come to bring peace on earth. He's already here.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, try. Aren't we earth? Isn't our heart the earth? Aren't we the peace that he brings on earth, which is symbolic of us?
Hold on. So
earth
there's
is
2
symbolic
earths.
of people in the Bible. Yes.
Hold on. There's 2 earths. There's 2. Remember.
The spiritual and the physical.
Hold on. Listen. There's 2 earths, 2 soils, 2 grounds. There's 2. What are the 2 in this world? Hold on. In this world that we hold on. In the world that we live in right now. Matter of fact, let's make it more simple. Before Jesus got here, there were 2 nations, two earths, two soils, two grounds. What were they?
There was the circumcised and the non-circumcised. There was the Gentiles and the children of God. And who was the other question?
Okay. No, that's the answer. So let's make it more simple. There was Israel, and then there was everybody else. True or not true?
Exactly. True. Very true.
Okay. So what were the two nations that were here? I'm not
Israel
asking.
Israel and
that's
the Gentiles.
It. Okay. So even though the Gentiles had many different names for their little nations, they were still all one nation.
Exactly.
Because they weren't of God, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Either of Satan, your father, or God, your.
That's right. Father. Okay. So spiritually, there's two earths. There's two worlds. There's the world that we live in, and then there's the world that we're from. True or not true?
Very true.
Okay. So there's two earths. So he said, the angels say, on earth peace. And Jesus said, I didn't come to bring peace. So what's happening?
Contradiction.
Man, that one's throwing me. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm going into rabbit holes, and I can't. Wait a minute.
No,
this
there's
is
no
not
rabbit
difficult.
holes.
This is not difficult. I don't know why I'm like totally blank right now.
It's all right.
Okay, so he is from so he's not from here. He's from up above, but he came. Okay, so no, we got two. I got it. He is. There's two. Him and help me out, Jordan.
So is the first piece, is that the invitation?
What do you call it? Hold on. What do you call in the first piece?
The angel.
Okay, so when the angels were talking about peace, what are they talking about?
The invitation of the spiritual nation.
Yeah. So when the angels came and they proclaimed peace on earth, they're saying God is no longer angry with y'all because of him. That's what they're saying.
Oh.
Right.
So when they said peace, when they said on earth peace and good tidings, it was talking about the sacrificial lamb. Remember, they just got through saying you will find him in a manger, wrapped in swaddling cloths. If you know anything about a swaddling cloth, when the sheep were born, the sacrificial lambs, so they didn't blemish themselves, bruise themselves, so they didn't break a limb. When the baby sheep are born, they a lot of them, they hop around and bounce because they're trying to get their feet. So they would wrap them in swaddling cloths and put them in a manger, which is a trough for water, which is the same thing that Jesus was born in, which is stone. So the idea that he was in a manger that was made out of wood is ridiculous. They didn't have a lot of wood back then. Their troughs were made out of hewn rock. So he was wrapped in swaddling cloth, the same swaddling cloth that they would use to wrap lambs, because he was the sacrificial lamb. So now that he's born, the sacrificial lamb, now that he's here, there's peace on earth. That kind of peace, that God's not mad at people anymore. So the peace that they're talking about is we're not going to, that all men are going to have, peace between one another. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about peace between man and God, that kind of peace. God made peace. Yep. Even though man has been trying so hard to make peace between God, there was only one way, and it was Jesus. He was the only way that you can have peace, personal peace between you and God, and he was it. The sacrificial lamb has been born, right? Okay, so all this because Kathleen is asking about swords. Very relevant, man. I could talk about this all day long, like no joke. And I only got 15 minutes left, dude. Not cool, but whatever. So now that we know that the angels are talking about that kind of peace, What kind of peace is Jesus talking about? Jesus said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword.
Dividing the spiritual nation from the carnal one?
Well, it would seem as though. So now what do? We go to the Old Testament and we go look at characteristics of swords. So on the east of the Garden of Eden, there was a sword, a fiery sword that was placed there. And why was it put there? It said it was put there to keep the way to the tree of life. What's the only way to the tree of life?
Jesus.
Well, through the Spirit, not through the flesh, right? Through the Spirit. Because Jesus is the tree of life. Jesus is the tree of life. So if Jesus is the tree of life, then the only way to him is through the Spirit. So the fiery sword is the Spirit, the Word. But the Word is Spirit. That's why it's on fire.
Yeah.
The Word, a fiery sword, a spiritual Word, which I go over every morning.
Every day.
Every day. The fiery, why was Moses' bush on fire? Anybody?
Ooh.
Because it was a spiritual tree. Because it was a spiritual tree. That's why. It was a spiritual tree. It was the tree of life. Moses spoke to the tree of life. The idea that Moses is just walking and like some like physical carnal bush just caught on fire, you're missing it. That is not what happened. Moses was able to see in the spiritual realm. How do we know this is true? Did God not show him how to build the ark? Yes or no? True or not true?
True.
And what did he tell him? He said, build it the way you saw it. So what did he see? What did Moses see? So how many times does Moses have to see something spiritual for you to understand that the tree he saw was spiritual? He was just telling us what he saw. Moses had no clue 100% what he was talking to or what he didn't know. He was doing the best that he could, man. But what Jesus did is Jesus showed the way in the Bible in its entirety. He showed the way. Moses just did what he was told to do. He saw what God showed him. He know that he was talking the tree out of the midst of the tree. This thing spoke to him out of the midst. There was no outer fire, and the outer fire was talking to him. Like if there's just like God-forsaken bush just sitting there, and the fire, God's presence is like, that looks like a good bush. No. It says that it spoke to him from the midst, my friends, from the midst. That word midst in the Old Testament literally is talking about from within. Every time, man, that it's being used. Where did Jesus appear to the disciples when they were in that one room and all the doors were closed? Where did he appear? In the midst, right in the middle of all of them.
In the midst.
In the midst. It's always talking about like the most center part. So Moses spoke to this quote unquote fiery tree, and it said that God spoke to him out from the midst. So if it's just a spiritual fire that's hovering this tree, no, my friend, It was a tree of life that was speaking to him. It was Christ. And then he sees the ark, or better yet, he sees Eden is what he sees, right? The two cherubims on the outside. Why do you think he made this thing? Why do you think this thing looked like a square? Do you not remember how heaven is described? Mm-hmm. How it has corners? And there's two cherubims on the east, on the outside, and he put two cherubims. Why did he make it look like that? Because he made what he saw. God showed him Eden. That's what he made. And Eden is God's heart. That's why the mercy seat is solid gold. That's why the 3 items inside of it is the gold pot of manna, the 10 commandments, and the rod of Aaron that budded almonds. All those things that are symbolizing Christ that the people murmured against. They complained and hated it. And they're all inside the ark, which is God's heart, the murmuring of the people, because he carries the burden no matter where they go. They're his burden to carry. Why am I saying all this? Is because we're talking about the fiery sword, the fiery bush. The fire is the spirit. The tree, the bush, is the tree of life. The fiery sword is the fiery word. The spiritual word, not the black letters on the white page. Because the Bible tells us that it's God breathed, meaning God breathed is inside. God breathed in the nostrils of Adam and he became a living soul. You cannot see the God breathed part. You cannot see with your physical eyes the spiritual word. You cannot see it because it's a fiery sword. You cannot see it. It's a spiritual word. So through the spiritual word, that's the way to the tree of life. Then you can see who the tree of life is now because of the fiery sword, which is the spiritual word. We got 10 minutes. So let's jump to
Judges.
Judges. Did you find it?
Yep, 3:16.
Oh, y'all better give him a hard time, man. Oh, he wanted to opt out. Dre, come on, Dre, where you at? He's like, no, y'all only got 10 more minutes. Y'all better say something. Oh my Lord, this guy.
What's up, Dre?
Ahora llegó el bandolero. You know what we're going to sing to him? Bandolero. Bandolero.
What does that mean? What's a bandolero?
Vagabond. The vagabond just entered the room.
Oh, the vagabond. God. What's up, bro? You couldn't make it,
man? Nah, for some reason, when you said 3 p.m., I keep forgetting it's 3 p.m. your time, not my time. It's 2 p.m.
No,
my time.
I said 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's 3 p.m. my time, though, I thought.
Bro, you're ahead of him. You're an hour ahead of him.
I just know that I said. I just know that I said 2 o'clock Central. I know that's what I know. I said I got it recorded.
Yeah, because right now it's about to be 3 o'clock my time. It's about to be 4 o'clock your time, huh?
Yeah, so it's 1 your time.
Because you're an hour.
Yeah.
That's right.
I confused myself on that one, bro. I dropped the ball. That was on me.
My Lord have mercy. Well, anyway, just so you know, we all have made a decision. We're not going to recap anything. You're going to have to go listen to the YouTube channel. We've all left you a personal message, which if you really want to know what that personal message is, you're going to have to go watch the YouTube channel, sir.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Sounds like a plan. I guess I'll be able to watch it in about 3 weeks.
That's all right. That's all right. Maybe if you keep it up, maybe 6 weeks.
He took a while because he comes with the new covenant, not the old one.
That's right. That's right.
I
come with grace and truth.
Grace and truth.
And don't forget spirit. Don't forget the spiritual sword.
Well, I'm bringing Bible, so
yeah. So go ahead and read.
He says, "I do not give to you as Trot gives."
That's right. Go ahead and read Ehud, bro, real quick.
All right. And Ehud made himself a sword which had 2 edges, a cubit in length, and he bound it on his right thigh under his cloak.
All right, what do you do with it?
You need to get a Bible. You need to get a real Bible.
Yeah, where's your Bible at, bro?
He made him a dagger which had 2 edges of a cubit length, and he did grid it under his raiment. I can't even say that word now.
Y'all.
Raiment upon his right thigh.
Yeah, somebody needs to get a Bible, and somebody needs to learn how to read the Bible.
I'm telling you.
Y'all. Okay,
under his raiment, under his right thigh. So that's another raiment, Dre.
Okay, so this man,
upon
Ehud,
his right thigh. It's not under. I'm sorry. It's upon his right thigh.
Yeah, he girds it upon his right thigh. Okay, so I'm telling you, the attributes of Ehud are just remarkable, man. Like, you have to be spiritually blind, deaf, dumb, lame, like all of it, not to pick up the way that they're describing this man. And Ehud's name, I think, means united of God. Dre, do you remember what it means? I don't remember.
Oh man, I'm not at my desk, but
I could look it up if you want me to.
I did a whole thing on Ehud. I like Ehud a lot. Well, that's
Let me look it up.
my name on my other account, Ehud.
Yeah, it's either like united by God or saved by God, or I can't remember. Yeah, Jess, if you want to look it up in the Hebrew, Ehud's name. But the thing is, just read it when you get there. Okay, so the thing is, Ehud is a judge, right? So we have about 15 judges. I don't remember the exact number, but there's a lot of judges, obviously, in the book of Judges. And these people judged Israel. But when you pay attention, they're not really trying to destroy Israel. They're not that kind of judge. They judge anyone that's against Israel. If you pay real close attention to these people, they're always fighting the enemy. Like Samson was a judge, and he was always unaligned.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. It does mean love, pleasant, and united. Love, pleasant, and united.
Yeah. I knew it was a few of them, but the point is, it's not a coincidence, bro, that Ehud's name is love, pleasant, united. It's not a coincidence, again, because he's representing Christ. It's a shadow of Jesus. And it says that when he judged Israel, that there was this king named Eglon. And Eglon is described as a very fat man. And it's just not a coincidence that in the Bible you have two bellies, right? Jesus says, believers in me, out of their belly will flow rivers of living water. This is what he says. And then Paul tells us that there are these other people, that they're haters of the cross. And he calls them, he says, and their belly is their God. But he's talking about their physical belly. And if you're not understanding the symbolisms and the way that Christ authors this in the Old Testament, you're not putting together what Paul is saying about this belly. This belly is the belly that Jonah went after. Instead of ministering to the people in Nineveh, he went to his belly. He left Joppa, right? Joppa is the place he was living, which means beautiful, which is the pleasant place, which is showing you that he left the presence of God. So instead of being in the will of God, he wanted to be in his own will, which was he didn't want to pray. He didn't want to minister to people in Nineveh because he knew that God was gracious and he wanted to see, it's kind of like a person under the law. No, grace is not free. No, y'all are monsters, and so these people.
He's literally the first and ever, the only evangelist that wanted to.
Yeah, well, exactly. He's the first evangelist that wanted to put everybody under God's law instead of God's love, grace, and mercy. He could care less about love, grace, and mercy. And God's like, no, you need to go, tell them to repent. And he's like, no, the heck with that, dude. Screw that.
Was it Nehemiah that did something?
He wanted them to not repent so bad. He wanted all of them to hellfire.
Oh yeah, he wanted to watch them burn and be like, y'all are burning up. And there's so many people like that, man. But the point is, talking about the belly, the Bible, God is not trying to show you that Eglon had an eating disorder and he was just a big old fat dude. Now, in real life, I guarantee you he was.
We know one.
I guarantee you he was a very overweight man. I guarantee you. But what the word, the fiery sword, the spiritual word, what the word is saying is that this man was in his own belly. That's what it's saying, that he's representing Satan or a child of Satan. And Ehud comes into the picture, and he's described as a man that is left-handed. If you know anything about the Bible, the left hand of God is his judgment, the right hand is his grace, love, and mercy, and that's why Jesus sits on the right hand. of the Father, because he is the grace, love, and mercy. And so this man is left-handed, yet he girds a double-edged sword on his right thigh. That means that his sword, his dagger, his word comes from his righteous side. And the Bible tells us that God is a righteous God and he's a just God. That's because when he judges righteously, regardless if you like it or not. So when Ehud goes in there, the way he's described, Ehud, he's literally Christ. And the other belly is literally Satan. And it says that he told Eglon he has a message for him. Long story short, he unsheathed his double-edged sword. What does the Bible say about double-edged sword?
It pierces.
But what is it described as? What is it? What is it? Spiritual. It's spirit. Spiritual. I said the spirit is sharper. The spirit, the word, the spirit is sharper than a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
Sharper. And so he took it, unsheathed it from his right side, because that's his righteous side. But he takes it with his left hand because it's time for judgment. So when he went to Eglon, he didn't bring peace. He brought a sword. But what was he unaliving? What was it that the sword was going to be used for? For the belly, for the carnal belly. So it says that he hits him in the belly with the sword, and the haft goes in, which is the handle, meaning the entire sword went in there. And it said all the dirt came out. So let me ask you this: when the sword is used for any man, when the sword is used, does the man become good and then the sword enters, or does the sword enter and then all the dirt comes out? What's the process?
The sword enters.
I think it enters.
Right. And what happens here with Ehud? Ehud puts the sword in his belly, talking about the bitter belly, not the belly of living water, the bitter belly. The sword is put in, and all the dirt comes out. So the sword, when Jesus said, I come not to bring peace, he's talking to Satan. He's not talking to the world. See, he came into the world to be peace for the people between man and God. But when he says, I come not to bring peace, but a sword, he's talking spiritually, meaning that there is peace between God and men, and I'm the sword that's going to bring that peace. But the enemy is Satan, which is the belly, the carnal mind, the flesh. So, fiery sword, double-edged sword. There's the swords there. Tomorrow morning, Kathleen, I think it's Kathleen, right? Yeah, Kathleen. So tomorrow morning, if you're here, we will talk about, quote unquote, a single-edged sword. We'll talk about that. Now, if you get here, if you beat everybody here, we'll start off with that. If not, we'll just Charlie Mike. We'll just continue mission, talking about Jesus in the Old Testament. And when you get here, we'll finish where we are, and we'll pick up on a single-edged sword, which, to be honest with you, is quite simple, but we're going to go over it anyway. No big deal. Dre, you got anything to say, bro? Sup?
Good, man. I just been running around. Yeah, no, I like that. I crack up at old Jonah though, man. He was like, man, I don't want to. He said, he's like, only evangelist. Like, I hope not one person raise their hand and say they want to do the sinner's prayer.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't trying to hear it.
He was in his belly, all right.
He's like, give them the Shahada instead.
God.
Yeah. He was like,
yeah. So usually the two-a-days don't start till 4:00 Central, which is right now. But I had to do it at 2:00 Central instead, which is a little earlier than we usually do it. That's just how it had to go down today. But yeah. So
that's what messed me up, because we usually do it when I get off work. Like I usually got like 30-minute window, so that's why I was surprised.
Yeah, no, I know,
like,
but that's why. No, but that's
Dre,
why I
you
said
missed your
that we're
10:40
doing
window.
it. Yeah, but that's why I was saying 2 o'clock Central, and I even said, "Hey, bro, can you do 2 o'clock?" And you were like, "Yeah."
I definitely could have too. It's just I forgot. You should have just texted me. I would have jumped on.
He's too busy with his red pen. You know. He's not.
I know it. I know it. He's on those. He's on those. He's on those YouTube videos trying to find anything wrong. He's like, man, see if I can find Troy saying something wrong, man. See if I can find it in there, man.
Anything, Jesus. He's praying for it. Jesus.
I know. I'm telling you. He's so used to being the adversary, he forgets what spirit he is of. Yeah. So, all right. Well,
what's gonna happen tomorrow, Dre?
Yeah.
Ooh, scared of you, bro. I'm so scared of you. My knees are shaking.
Just.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Hey.
Be my guest.
Tomorrow morning.
Make sure you charge a cover.
Tomorrow morning, same time, same place.
Just remember, you can't have more than 2 Puerto Ricans on a panel.
Wait a minute. You got to make sure you charge for the cover charges. If they're going to watch the video, they got to pay for it. Don't be a fool.
That's a subscriber button.
You make
right?
a lot. That's right.
God almighty.
Tori earlier in the comments was like, I need God.
She said, "Don't be a fool."
My ringtone.
All right.
She was like, I need that as a ringtone.
Wasn't Nehemiah another one that didn't want to go somewhere? Didn't want to see the people?
Let's see. Somebody said, ask yourself, whose belly was Jonah in? He was in his own belly. He was in his own belly. So the whole idea of him being swallowed by big fish is 100% true. But the reason why he called it hell is because he was in his belly. That's why it's called a big fish.
Big belly.
A big. That's right.
See Jude's comment? Do what?
There you go.
You think it was the size of Dre's belly?
Do what? Yeah. What is that? Do what? What is that? Trots do what? What is that?
Do what? Do what?
Nobody?
Do what?
That's what it says. I want Trots to do what?
Yeah.
Oh, but when I say do what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or a ringtone.
Oh, I say it that much? I say it that much? Someone asks you a question and you say I guess. I don't know. I don't even know I say that. Oh. I'm gonna have to go back and listen for it.
Hey, I got a question.
Anyway,
CJ's got a question. Okay, CJ.
What?
Was Nahum another one that didn't want to see a people? Nehemiah, another one that didn't want to see a people saved?
Nehemiah?
Yeah, I thought there was somebody else.
I'll tell you what, CJ. CJ, I'll tell you what. I want you to find the address very specifically of what you're talking about. And tomorrow, we'll go over it. Tomorrow.
I need to see people say, Dre, you remember this song, Como Jeremia? Oraba? Is that the one he's talking about? Or Dre's in his playtime?
Hey, Trot. You see dinner down there?
Dre ain't listening at all.
Dinner down there about roughly 500 yards away.
Oh, Bubba, that ain't far enough. That's approximately 500 meters. Target down.
It's
target down.
It's 3 of them.
Oh, wow. That's okay. Target down.
Are those deers?
Yeah, it's lunch out there. It's lunch out there.
It's lunch out there.
Look at them. They're rolling. They're rolling.
Yeah, buddy. I can smell them.
You know what it
delicious.
is? They got a cornfield right here, so they was over here and they crossed the street.
Oh, man.
Stealing.
I'd be I would set up shop.
Yeah, they stealing,
yeah,
bro.
buddy.
Three
That's all right.
thieves.
That's all right.
Three amigos. They're
That's
infamous.
all right.
They're infamous.
Infamous.
Dude. He goes, what is that? Infamous? He goes,